Hi everyone, this is Dr. Hassi. Welcome to the channel Dr. Hassi Explains. This is plant morphology, and we are going to cover chapter 3, cells and tissues, in this video. Again, our material is from our textbook, which is Raven Biology of Plants, 8th edition, Raven Biology of Plants. If you haven't got to the textbook yet, please get a copy of the textbook and start reading. Start with chapter 1 we covered last time, and 3 here, and then 23 next chapter. Okay, let's get started. So again, this is plant morphology, chapter 3, in plant cells first. Okay, so plant cells, you already know from your bio 1, the cells, right? So basics of cells, eukaryotic cells. Plants are eukaryotic organisms. Their cells have a lot in common with other eukaryotic organisms. So again, like in every chapter, you can start with making flashcards. You can put these keywords in your flashcards, and you can actually start reviewing, reciting, and reading the chapters and learning about this chapter. Okay, so in this chapter we will talk about pro and eukaryotes briefly, plant cell overview, plastids, and then cell wall, mitosis, cytokinesis. Okay, so plant cells. Okay, well, we know in 1665 Robert Hooke detected the cells, made the first microscope we see in this picture, and see the first cells you see here on the second picture, which is a plant cell from a cork tree, right? So then a number of scientists actually improved on this, and including 1838, Matthias Schleiden, which found that all plant tissues consist of cells. 1858, Virchow found that cells arise from pre-existing cells. So many scientists, biologists actually worked on this, and then today we have a cell theory, which consists of all living organisms made of one or more than one cells. Chemical reactions of organisms occur in a cell. Cells arise from other cells. The cells contain hereditary information. They pass from parent to the other cells. We call cell theory. Okay, so prokaryotic cells. In order to understand eukaryotic cells, we need to learn a little bit about prokaryotic cells too, because they actually interact with plants a lot. Prokaryotic cells, organisms and cells, they are unicellular, right? They found in all environments. So they are the largest group of organisms, like bacteria. So they have no nuclear membrane, no membrane-bound organelles. They are pretty simple in structure, and they are the most primitive type of cell. Many examples: E. coli, of course, we hear a lot. E. coli is a bacteria, strep or staphylococcus. These are some just examples. Eukaryotic organisms, on the other side, they are more advanced. Many unicellular organisms are eukaryotic, but all cells in multicellular organisms definitely are eukaryotic. Some characteristics are: there is nuclear membrane, there is nucleus, there is more complex internal structure. They appear 1 billion years ago. You see here a corn cell with a large vacuole, a lot of chloroplasts, and a cell wall. That brings us three unique organelles of plant cell. So first one is cell wall, right? Compare the animal cells. Okay, so cell walls, they are just more than just a wall, but they look like a wall outside of plant cells, even though they are not the living organelle when they mature, but they are very, very important. Chloroplast is the next one, which is very important because plants are autotrophic, which means they can make their own energy, and that's because of chloroplast, because chloroplast has chlorophyll. And then third organelle, vacuole, which can take largest part of the cell, like 75–80%, very large vacuoles that plants have. Plants, what they're missing really is centrioles, intermediate filaments, some organelles that they are missing. Okay, so in this chapter 3 in the book, you can actually, again, this is our book, Biology of Plants, Raven Biology of Plants. You can see this cells and organelles. Please make sure that you read about each organelle and their function. There is a table also comparing prokaryotic cells with eukaryotic cells. You can read about. So let's take a look at cell wall a little more. Cell walls can be made of primary, secondary, and middle lamella. It can protect the plant cells, maintain their shape, prevent excess water uptake. If you look inside here, we see one molecule, which is cellulose, right? A carbohydrate, which is basically inside the cell walls. Okay. And fibers, right? So we know like dietary fibers and fibers. So, okay. So primary wall. Again, the cell walls all together, they are actually part of epiplast. Epiplast means anything outside of cytoplasm. I mean, plasma membrane. And then there is plasmodesmata, which is these tiny holes found on cell walls. You can see here, if the cells close to each other, they can communicate using these tiny holes in plasmodesmata, or PD. They're less than 50 nanometers, they're very tiny. And they can exchange stuff between cells. So you can read about a little review about the cell cycle and mitosis. So I'm not going to cover this right now. So to just remember, cell cycle is made of interphase, mitosis, and cytokinesis. And plants do that, and you can see here in an onion root cells all different phases of mitosis we can see in a live cell in plant root. So this is just a summary of chapter 3. So please keep reading chapter 1, 3 from our textbook, Raven Biology of Plants, and continue studying. And if you haven't, please subscribe to this channel at YouTube, Dr. Rossi Explains, and I will see you in class next time.